every problem, even problem of a movement, can be seen from so many vantages. And we prefer vantage from our own, we are dictated by our own ideological orientation to choose a vantage. So, Marxists are doing that and Gandhians, everybody is doing that. But as I said, Marx was essentially a scientist. At least he wanted to see things from scientific point of view. I think Gandhi was a seer, he was not a scientist. And seer's method of cognition is also valid, for me at least. That's a valid method. But you can't expect anything from a seer if you think always in terms of scientist. We are trying to use the methodology of a scientist and trying to evaluate the work of a seer. That's nonsense. You want to reject it. Gandhi has done whatever he has said for each concept. He has given so many arguments, and I think that's all humbug. A seer's arguments are all humbug because sometimes he tries to express something which is beyond expression. That can be only experienced. There are, as an old man, I can tell you, when I'm in my house and my friends, they think me to be an atheist. I am not an atheist. Many think that, you may be thinking that I am a religious man or a Gandhian. No, I am not a Gandhian. I am not a religious person in that sense. But I believe in kind of spirituality. And in one sense, in a good sense at least, I can claim to be an eclecticist. In Marxist term, eclecticism is derogative, is used in a derogative sense, but I am eclectic to an extent. There are more than one communist party here in India since 20s. In 20s also there are at least 2 to 3 communist parties here. And if you find today, everybody, every now and then talking of people, masses. Can you see masses behind any communist party? Why? What happened? And time has come, perhaps every single man will have one party. And one theory, one party, one plan. Yeah. And we are talking of integration, this. Why it is happening? That's because, as I told, even towards science, we have a very wrong thing. You are human students, I heard that he is a science student, but I am a human student. So I feel defeated to speak before him, but whatever little I know about philosophy of science. So Marx, his worldview was dominated by Newtonian physics. But modern physics, after say Einstein and quantum theory came, quantum mechanics, there the cognizer, the one who views, is as important as the view itself, as the reality itself. So now the dialectics, in the name of dialectics at one time, what was characterized was always one track. But now, after quantum physics, dialectics literally, it's a dialectics where it's always a two-way process. Always, every moment there is a conflict between thesis and negation. So out of negation also some new positive ideas always come. And so if our worldview is again in that straitjacket of Newtonian physics, if in our worldview we feel that the cognizing process of a scientist is the only valid way of seeing things. Like this, there are so many ideas which must be first discussed before we think of any kind of integration, physical or spiritual or mental or ideological anything. This premises from which we start, whether they are dubious or really correct. Unless we see that just jumping to some conclusion or giving some solution, that will be just temporary. So So I think if we discuss these epistemological problems, even at and context is very important in all philosophies. Here, for example, we used to say sthana kala patra, desa kala patra in Sanskrit. Also follow that. So if I am saying something now, whether it is context, it fits to the context of des, kal, patra, individual, the person who is speaking, or whom I am speaking, the time when I am speaking, and the place where I am speaking. All this must be taken into consideration. At this moment, can we discuss about 19th century Marx, 20th century Lenin, 20th century Gandhi? Whether we can discuss about that. If we really seriously think that this Marxism, or for that matter Leninism, or for that matter Humanism, they are guide to action. If we seriously think it, instead of just using it as a slogan, then we must put them in proper context. At this moment, can an integration among all these philosophies possible at some level or not? So that's a long discussion. So that I just make a loud thinking this that you should first start from there. Then we can talk about integration among these movements, etc.
Because you made the point about context, historicizing something. It's important to see when something is uttered. That was one, and it's not really a question. For following from that, an observation that you made about Gandhi being a seer. Now, in which case, when I look at, the idea of there being Gandhians, in that Gandhi is a seer, his mind is working in a particular way, he sees something, but he cannot articulate in a way that others will understand. Because it's not in that sense a rational, sort of scientific.
Through action only,
through
action, understand him.
And in which case, what perhaps if we are to sort of understand Gandhi and learn from him, then we have to see how we can reenact that logic. And it's actually the same for any thinker. Even Marx, when we sort of read, or anybody, then we are looking to reenact the way his thinking process in that particular moment. How is he analyzing the problem? What is the possible solution that he's getting to? In which case, the point that you make about at this juncture, is it possible in the Indian sort of context for Marxists in that sense of Leninists or Gandhians to work together? That depends upon their analysis of the situation. How are we analyzing the society? After, what is important is this analysis, not whether you call yourself a Gandhian, a Marxist or Leninist. In which case, what do you think? Because we've been discussing on a philosophical / epistemological level, then what do you think is the way to go about analyzing this particular juncture, and hence sort of suggesting the sort of coming together that can come about?
That I'll give you just one example of this POSCO movement. From that I said, but before that I'll tell one thing. As I said, what Gandhi said is humbug. I will use that word humbug. But then how can you follow Gandhi then? So in that case, what is important in the case of a seer, you must observe acutely his style of functioning, his actions. And in case of Marx, you have to see both action and his theory. You can compare them also. Here, comparing what Gandhi said with what he did is misleading, highly misleading. Even see now that Sudhir Patnaik is editing a magazine in which one of my friends is a professor of philosophy, retired professor of philosophy. He is translating that philosophy of bomb. Gandhi wrote philosophy of bomb. Is a reply to Bhagat Singh's. So he is translating. There, in that particular essay, you must have seen that Bhagat Singh and his friends who replied to Gandhi, they have praised Gandhi like anything. For one thing, that they have admitted that Gandhi is a mass leader. He started here the non-cooperation movement.